Well, the town had a population of around 500 or 600 people, and then it dropped back. Probably in '86 there was probably 200 or 250, and now we're back to about 80 to 100.
Located on the corner of the Birdsville and Oodnadatta tracks is Sleepy Maree. Since they finished building the hotel here in 1883, like most small outback settlements, Maree's witnessed its fair share of hardships. In the 1930s, Afghan camel traders stopped coming through here. In the 60s, drovers gave way to mechanised stock transport. And in the 1980s, the 7 trains a day that used Maree as part of the Ghan route all but ceased to be overnight, leaving Maree to rely on tourism for its very survival. Now, a bloke that knows more about the history of Maree than most people is Eric Goldfield. Lived here for the best part of 70 years.
Nothing special about Maree. What makes you think there's something special about Maree?
Eric has a love-hate relationship with the place he calls home. A stockman for over half a century, he now runs the dry and dusty Drovers Rest Caravan Park. I suppose running a caravan park, you get to see a lot of people from different parts of the world as well, would you?
Oh, every day. Yeah, every day. Even all through the summer, you get all overseas people. You don't have to travel the world comes here,
This dot on the map, 600 k's north of Adelaide, went from obscurity to fame on the world stage in 1998 when an unknown artist ploughed an outline of an Aboriginal warrior in the dirt. Measuring 4 k's tall, 28 in circumference and still visible today, it's affectionately known as the Maree Man. Did the discovery of the Maree Man add something to the local buzz?
I think it certainly, and it still does. You still hear people talking about it and trying to work out who's responsible for the artwork.
City folk still argue if it's art or vandalism, but the locals just love it.
It's so good. It's the biggest drawing in the world, or bit of art in the world. Why doesn't someone want to claim it?
Lyle Oldfield runs the Oasis Cafe and has called Maree home for most of his life. If anyone knows who's responsible, he should. Do you know who did it?
I don't really think that we want to know now. It's because it's a mystery. People really like that mystery part, so yeah, I think we should keep it a mystery.
Robin Taylor is the publican at Maree. Like all classic pubs, it's a warm and inviting place where you'll always find locals and travellers sharing a drink and a good yarn.
They were standing at the bar and saying, it's pretty windy. They said, I reckon that was sounded like the roof's blown off. And they evidently looked out through the bar window, and there it was, over by the platform.
And what did the drinkers do when they looked out the window and saw the roof lying on the ground?
Probably finished their beer.
This historic hotel is over 120 years old. There's more than a few stories to tell. Now, you're standing in front of these fairly old-fashioned bar fridges. Is it true that they've been used for things other than cooling beer and wine?
Well, I have heard that before they had a morgue at the hospital, they had to use an old fridge.
That may help explain some of the unexplainable.
Basically, if I'm vacuuming down the hall behind me, then the plug for the vacuum cleaner will come completely out of the socket where I haven't stretched it, and there's heaps of line left. Before that, the room just gets all close and cold, and it feels like I shouldn't really be vacuuming this.
Colita is Robin's daughter and helps her run the hotel, and she's witnessed a range of paranormal possibilities.
Sometimes you'll be walking through the hallway and you'll get a sense that there's somebody else. They're not going to hurt you, they're friendly but sad.
Before Robin, Lyle ran the pub for 6 years, and he understands the difficult and significant job she's faced with.
Not only do you got to run the pub, you've got to also be your maintenance man, and you've got to do your electricals, your plumbing, and plus keep a whole bunch of people happy. If they don't come to the hotel, of course, they haven't got anywhere to go, so you've got a responsibility that's probably the social hub of the town.
Robin's been behind the bar for about 18 months. She's one of the many strong people you'll find keeping the legend alive in some of our great Outback hotels. She's settled into the role well and enjoys the support of the local community.
If we have a problem, the community tends to take that person aside and tell them they've had enough to drink and take them home. I've had a few sticky situations, and suddenly a couple of the locals will think, we better just hang around and make sure, Robin's all right.
Robin knows the hard work, perseverance and respect for the locals and the country that is needed to be a successful bush publican. If you had to put one thing down as the attraction for you to work in a pub in Maree, what would that be?
A challenge.
After the break, a day at the races, a bathtub bar and some extreme golf.
I nailed it.